Hey guys, this is Alex from Black Ops South Sound, and today I have the pleasure of showing you the brand new HK MG4. Before we get too into the nitty gritty on this guy, I'm just gonna give you a quick couple talking points. First and foremost, it retails at $1,349.95. We have a handful available online on our web store, bosswebstore.com, and in store in our Lacey, Washington location. You can find links for both of those down in the description below. This guy here is the first airsoft licensed H&K MG4, thankfully brought to us by Elite Force and Umarex. This one's going to be OEM'd by VFC. This is the first one to appear on the American market. They did have a couple Hong Kong market ones come out, but this is the first one to arrive here in the US. Really, these are surprisingly good quality, but also surprisingly lightweight. So this guy here, even though it's longer than your standard saw, it's quite a bit lighter. Most of the external features are actually going to be polymer. It does have a metal dust cover, metal receiver set, but like the fore end's polymer, the stock's going to be entirely polymer. A lot of features are made so that way you can cut weight and still keep the weight down, but still have that nice high quality feel to it. The gun itself has two magazines, one internal magazine, one external box magazine. It can feed from either or. It's pre-wired to Dean's. All right, so real quick, we're just gonna go over some of the external features on this guy. All the way up here at the front, you have a full metal flash hider. It's gonna come painted orange, but underneath here will be 14mm counterclockwise threading. You have your folding bipod up here in the front. That'll tuck up into your handguard just like it would on a normal, basic saw. It won't fold and lock all the way to the frontward position. It kind of stays here and it'll wave back and forth. We have your flip-up sight right here in the front. Two Picatinny rails, one on either side of the barrel, two sling attachment points, one on either side of the barrel. Top cover is going to be railed, so you have your actual pick rails on top. You can put whatever optic you want. Flip-up 416 style or HK style rear sight back here. Your carry handle actually locks in the upward position and locks in the downward position. It's activated by this tiny little button that my finger was touching there. Charging handle folds up and out of the way. The charging handle doesn't functionally do anything other than open the connection door down below. So when you rack it, that little door is going to come open, and that's where you access the connectors for your box mag. All right, continuing on. Like I said, we have the top cover that's totally railed. You can put whatever optic you want on here. Coming all the way to the back, you're going to have two more sling attachment points, one on either side of the receiver. In the very back, you'll have your folding stock that will fold and lock in the collapsed position. The gun will still fire with the stock folded, which is probably one of the coolest features of it. So if you're doing anything in a vehicle, honestly, you can clear buildings with this thing because that's how compact you can actually get it into your body. Battery's going to be stored back here in the stock, so it'll fit basically any of your large brick lipos. It comes pre-wired to Dean's, which is pretty nice. Your selector switch is ambidextrous. You have it on either side of the gun here, and it just goes from safe to fire, no semi-auto, nothing like that. When you lift up the top cover here, there's a big knob here on the back. You have the access to your internal magazine. This guy will actually hold about 900 rounds on its own without even including the box mag externally, and that can be filled just back here via a port. All right, so we're gonna flip the gun around real quick here and I'll show you how your box mag attaches and functions. You got a big knob here, you just push it forward, top cover folds up. This little hose piece, this is what feeds your BBs into the gun. It hooks right onto the side of that internal magazine that I was talking about earlier. This attachment point is just like your standard saw box mag. However, this box mag doesn't need its own battery. This box mag uses the onboard battery here and has two brass connections that correspond with the mounting connections there to power it. Obviously, you can kind of tell it's mounted at a different angle than we're used to. It's kind of similar to how an M60 might feel with the box mag hanging off into your off arm there. All right, so real quick, now that we've gone over the external features, like I said, there's not a lot that we know about the internal features right now. I will be more than happy to tear one apart when I finally break one and tell you more about it at that time. But for right now, I'm just gonna use it. Real quick though, we'll compare it to some of the other saws on the market. The one we have here today is gonna be an A&K Mark 46, pretty common one that you'll find a lot of people will use. So let me move some stuff off the table here, and then we'll pull that Mark 46 out and we'll talk about them side by side. Hey Trenton, can you toss me the box mag? Thank you. And can you toss me the saw? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just send it. Oh Jesus. Okay. That really scared me. I'm not gonna lie. All right. So, like I said, we got here the this is the A&K Mark 46. This is gonna be the full metal version, so it's the full weight versions. No polymer on this guy. These two share a lot of similarities, both in terms of like functionality and also in terms of their external quality. So this guy's gonna, as most people know, the A&K saw is gonna be basically entirely full metal. You're gonna have a full set of quad rails up the front, rail cover up top, a collapsing stock but not a folding stock, your bar safety, standard box magazine and standard saw style feeding mechanism, liftable top cover, but you don't have to lift it to put the box mag in, and the hop-up adjustment's going to be the exact same as this guy here with the dial here in front of the gearbox. Bipods on these guys will fold all the way forward. That one won't. So as you can see here, this guy's actually going to be, you know, about 2/3 the length of this guy. However, weight-wise, this guy without the box mag and BBs in it is going to weigh almost half of what this guy weighs, which is where you can see that real weight savings here on the with some of the polymer external features as opposed to the full metal features. Now that we've talked about the external features of this gun, we've compared it to some of the more common guns you might find on the market. Let's take this and go take some shots over the chrono. We'll see where it's chronoing in at. Today we're going to use 0.3 gram BBs because if you're using anything lighter in this guy, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, you want to use 0.3s. And the heaviest BBs you can get a mass quantity of, really, and any LMG is going to be a good call. All right, so we're going to chrono this now. We're using 0.3 gram BBs, shooting through our Ace Tech chronograph here. We're going to do short bursts, and I'll just call out the FPS here. We got 315, 308, 315, 314, 314, 317, 316. And then I'll give you a little rate of fire test here. We're at a solid like 14 rounds a second. We're clocking in at just above 1.4 joules. So for most of your outdoor fields, this will be totally legal. For indoor fields, you'll have to swap a spring. But this is right where you'd want it for an LMG, let's be honest. All right, so just to kind of finalize this real quick, I'm gonna go over some of my favorite features of it and some of my honestly least favorite features of it. The one thing that I think is really nice about this guy is gonna be this new box mag design. I really like how simplistic it is. It should solve a lot of the feeding problems we used to have with the other types of saws. Another really nice feature is that they include sling points. I know on some of the other saws it can be difficult to find a good like quality sling point that's actually attached to the receiver and not just attached to like the stock or the handguard. Obviously the inclusion of Picatinny rails on the sides and on the top is pretty nice. Some of the things I don't like so much about it, I really don't like the fact that you can't fold the bipod all the way to the front. I think that's kind of a big missing feature that you would want to see in something like this. I also don't like that there's no way to put a foregrip on the bottom of this. So if I wanted to delete the bipod and put a foregrip on here, I can't do that because this is a fully molded grip that only houses this bipod. Whereas you might have seen on the Mark 46, you could just take the bipod lug off and put a grip right on it. Other than that, I mean, they're really nice guns. I think that the polymer construction might be a turnoff for some people, but in all honesty, it's a very high quality construction. It doesn't feel creaky. I mean, I can't get it to shake, rattle, twist, any of that. It is definitely solid and very sturdy. I would argue this is probably better quality construction than most of the metal guns on the market right now. All in all, these are going to be very nice guns. You're going to start seeing these pop up a lot more often at your local field. You'll see them at the store, and like I said, you can find them online at bosswebstore.com. Check the links in the description. That's all I got for you guys today. Keep your eye out for some shooting videos and probably some gameplay from one of the local field members.